Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right, all right. Welcome back to Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so it's a bunch of stuff happening around the world right now. So a lot of people are focused on so many things going on. The dollar was pumping this morning because of the stuff that's going on in China and the Middle East. China's economy is crashing, as you guys can see. I think over 30% of their stocks were halted this morning. I mean, my goodness, right? So, remember the prophetic word of Mac Praise was that China's economy would crumble. And the citizens would run into Shiba Inu, right, and Shibarium, and for protection. So it's happening right now, but for some reason, Shiba Inu's dropping the ball. Like the dev teams and them are asleep at the wheel right now to make their blockchain and everything enticing for the Chinese people to run into Shiba Inu and Shibarium for safety. They're dropping the ball, you know, and so didn't expect that. Well, I mean, you talking about the dev team? Oh my god. Anyways, we're here for Algorand, and will Algorand drop the ball? Well, some people think they've already dropped the ball, but a lot of people are bullish on Algorand as well. So you got some people out there that think they dropped the ball because they are connected, unfortunately, with well, many people it's unfortunate. Some people that are in the liberal camp are saying no, it's a good thing. They are connected with the Clinton Foundation. Okay, so all depends on how you look at the Clintons. It was favorable on that end. If you think the Clintons are good, and most people don't think the Clintons are good, so it's unfavorable on that end. But it hasn't really. I mean, has it affect the project much? I don't really think so. I think if you look at the chart here, this chart right here is due to just dumping tokens into circulation, right? So, inflation. That's basically what it is, right? So it's not a deflationary token, at least not yet until it hits the max supply. Max supply is 10 billion, so it won't be any more tokens than 10 billion, which is a nice number. It's not massive, right? 10 billion is doable, right? So, because that it means that at a dollar, you're only at a 10 billion on market cap, right? So that means you can technically get to $10, which is $100 billion market cap. And I think a lot of these tokens, a lot of these altcoins in the top 100 are going to be $100 billion market caps, right? So it doesn't cripple you at 10 billion, but it has been an inflationary token. It is a border. What is Algorand? It's a transactional. It makes payments, right? Transaction payments on the borderless blockchain, which is the Algorand blockchain, right? So that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it's a payment blockchain. You can make payments globally, and without borders, with borderless transactions, borderless block payments. And yeah, so that's basically what it is. It's secured and all the other fancy things that they want to say about it, right? So, but basically, it's a borderless transactional token that makes transactions and all around the world on the Algorand blockchain. So it has its own blockchain. Okay, so yeah, and so apparently the Clintons love it. So that's why the Clinton Foundation and other people are surrounding them have been loaded up on Algorand, and it is what it is, right? So we'll see if it pays off. Will the Clintons Foundation and others who loaded up and other elitists loading up on Algorand at these low prices, will it pay off, right? and many people think it will, right? So many people think it will, and they're not that far away from their only two less than 2 billion away from their max supply. So it's not that many tokens left. I mean, you can stake it, but there's not that many tokens left, right? So um, once they run out of tokens, once the 2 billion tokens are given out as rewards, it's over, right? So I'm pretty sure they're going to start dropping their APR so that they can stake for a lot longer, and maybe every year they'll maybe every 6 months they'll be dropping their APR so that it can last. Staking can last another 10 years or whatever. All you have to do is drop the APR significantly and bring the staking rewards down to like 1%. But how many people are going to stay if it's at 1%? I don't know. You know what I mean? People are staking. People are staking Cardano at 2%, 3%. I mean, there are places where Cardano is being staked at 2, 3%. So it doesn't. So it all depends on how much you believe in the token, how much you think the token is going to be in the future, because many people believe Cardano is going to be $100 in the future somehow, some way. So you're staking at 2% now, and it's basically a gold mine for free tokens when it does hit that. And so maybe the same thing is being talked about for Algorand. Like, okay, well, this thing could be $100 in the future, and which would put it at a $1 trillion market cap, right? No, it'll put it at 100 billion market cap, right? Yeah, 10, yeah, yeah, 1 billion, 10. No, hold up, 1 billion will be 10. No, $1 will be 10 billion, and then $10 would be 100 billion. So yeah, it'd be a 1 trillion. So $100 will be $1 trillion market cap. Does anybody think that Algorand can get to $1 trillion market cap? I'm pretty sure people are saying that it can. As you know, big money comes in, and it might take 10 years, or it might take until 2030, but at some point it will happen. So if that's you, then okay, then staking right now at, I don't even know what the staking rewards are, 7% or 6%, 5%, whatever staking rewards. It's beneficial if it's going to be $100, right? So every free token you get, it's you think in 2030, like, that's $100. Now, what would the purchasing power of the dollar be at that point? Or because we're talking about dollars right now, but by 2030, cryptos might not be connected to the dollar, right? It could be, cryptos might just be their own value. Who knows what that is, though? You know what I mean? They might be valued to gold, or valued to silver. I don't know what's gonna happen once we go digital and do all that stupid stuff, and maybe I don't even care. Maybe I won't be part of the system at that point. I don't know, right? So the world's gonna look a lot different in 2030 than it does right now. Significantly a lot different, right? The digital systems will be in play. I mean, it's gonna be crazy, right? So it's gonna look a lot different in the next 6 years than what it does right now. Significantly a lot different. Um, and if America does lose the world reserve status by then, well, and we go into let's say a second world country, right? And we become a second world country, um, then things are going to look a lot different. We're not going to probably have all these big sporting things, because the dollar's not going to have that the purchasing power that it has right now to afford all the stuff like the NFL and NBA, all the stuff that we have now. Um, a lot of stuff could go away, right? So it could fade away because attendance will be down, and all because people have lost their jobs. By the time we hit 2030, how many people have lost their jobs with AI? I mean, we got reports now that thousands of people are losing their job to AI. So, and AI is just at the beginning stage, right? So, I mean, this is gonna be awful, right? And so, unless people do something about it, because we said the same thing about the internet, but people were able to do something about it. And so it's not awful if it's awful if we just sit back and say it's awful, but it's not awful if people actually do something about it and say, okay, the internet's coming, I'm going to lose my job, what can I do in the internet, right? to keep or to not keep my job, but to start a new career that's around my job, right? And so IT and all these other things, internet security, all these things come up, all these new millions of jobs came about because people took action. So it's just going to be the same thing for this AI technology, right? And this borderless transactional AI stuff that Algorand is not it's not an AI, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be part of AI at some point, right? Because they're borderless transactions, right? Um, so it's gonna be, and they have their own blockchain, so they can be able to create anything they want, right? And so, what can people create in this new AI robotic era that I've been talking about for years? I mean, I was talking about this when I was in the government, man. When people were looking at me like I was crazy. I bet so many people remember me like, man, currency was talking about this stuff a long time ago. Now here it is, man. We didn't think this was even possible. But yeah, I was talking about this stuff. Everything you see now, I was talking about back in over 10 years ago. So, and I was telling people about the stuff and what was coming and how China was gonna link up with Russia and do all these things in the Middle East. I was talking about all this stuff. I was telling these people in the government. They looking at me like I was crazy. Like, dog, it's time for you to go. you know. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure they're gonna remember me forever because of the stuff that I told them that is happening right now. So I'm a legend in their hearts, forever. So it's all good. Um, but yeah, so it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. But we gotta, instead of saying, look, we're doomed. Nah, just what can we create? What can we create to benefit ourselves, benefit the families, benefit the neighbors, benefit the American people and other countries? If you live in other countries, benefit your people. What can we create inside of AI? What can we do with AI to make because it's coming regardless, just like the internet was coming regardless, right? Um, and just like cell phones were coming, just like telephone came, and then the cell phones. Some people didn't like telephones; they thought that they would be watched, listened to, and people can spy on their conversation, and people can bother them, right? So there was pushback with telephones as well. Then the cell phones came, right? And so there's always a group of people that are going to have problems with these things, right? It's for privacy situations. So it is what it is, right? So how do you use it to benefit yourself, right? All right, so Algorand, let's check out the chart on Algorand here. We're at 16 cents right now, basically. And you can see it did hold this low here. So this low down here was like 12 cents, somewhere around there, right? So it was able to hold. That's 13 cents there. Let's see what this one is. If I can get it at 23. Okay, so where's the low here? Is that really the low? 13. Okay, 13 cents there. So down here was, oh my God, down here was actually 9. So we actually didn't hold it. Okay, I thought we held this line here. Hold on, let me go back here. This thing needs to get out of the way. Okay, so this is the line right there. We did hold. No, we did not. Okay, I see it now. We didn't hold that line. Okay, so the lines, the down here, we actually went lower low compared to here. Wow, and that's because probably you're staking and dumping more tokens into circulation, right? And so, okay, so we went up. Algorand went up, did its thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and probably I don't know, but it went up and peaked out here around that $2, and I remember that. I remember the $2. We were on Patreon talking about it, and everybody was excited and stuff because it is what it is. Everything was just pumping to the upside. I remember that time period, and now it's not right. So now we're down here. Clinton Foundation got into it. I think that news came out was that news came out here or did they come out here? I can't remember. I think it came out here and it got a little. I'm not sure if it came out here or not. 2023. I think it came out here when that Clinton news came out about Clintons and them guy getting into Algorand. It was either here on this little move up or on here on this move up. I'm not sure which one it was. I don't think it was this one because this one is just recent. So we've been heard about the Clintons. But I'm thinking it was back here on this move up here. Then it went back down again though. So anyways, um that's what's going on with Algorand. And so let's check out here and you can see 25 million in volume. So it does nice volume, right? It's decent volume for a top fit. It's not a top 50 yet, but it's a top 55 coin. So 25 million is okay. It's not great. You would think you want it to be more around that 60 to 80 million, 60 to 100 million. But it's not like it's a top 10, so top 20. So, but either way, 25 is okay for a 53, and then you have um 1.2 billion in supply. So let's go here and check out and see it's seven down. So it's been down. I mean, 32% in the last month, I mean last year, 17%, half of that in the last almost half in the last month. So it has retraced back here significantly, and maybe it's time to take advantage of that. Now, of course, now we're in a situation where it's going up and up, and it's trying to get its balance back, right? So 15 looks like the bottom for right now, and yeah, it does. So it's 15 looks like the bottom for right now. As long as it stays over 15, then it's going to eventually push back to the upside, right? So it might be a nice little line here. So it's got to break that. It's got to break that this downward trend as well. So okay, it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to say that Algorand can get back to a dollar this year. You can see a lot of resistance is here at the dollar. So I'm thinking back to massive resistance, which is that $1 area right there. So it's gonna poke up here and give us maybe a wick at the dollar here. And so I think Algorand to a dollar makes sense for this year. And then $10 makes sense for 2025, peak of the bull cycle, making a new high, right? So I got it going $1 this year, and then $10 in 2025. Okay, so some people are like, well, I don't want to play it because of the Clintons are attached to it. Yeah, a lot of people are attached to a lot of these tokens that they just don't admit it, right? So they'll know they're not saying anything. If you really look at Congress, people in Congress, or people that are former presidents, or people in Hollywood, or people in the elites and the Bilderbergs and the Rockefellers. We don't know what tokens they hold, right? We don't know what tokens none of these people hold, right? We don't know what tokens Bill Gates. If Bill Gates showed us his portfolio, we would probably dump a lot of the tokens that he's a part of that we hold with him, right? So we would be disgusted. So we don't. So they're not going to share that information. So because of that, so um yeah, so we don't know what Bill Gates holds. We don't know what any of these. We don't know what Elon Musk holds. We don't know what any of these people hold, right? And so unless they make it public, right? And then they're saying like, yeah, I'm buying more of this or I'm dumping more of that, right? And they make it public, and then they sign all these paperwork to make it public. That's a different story. So we don't know who's holding Algorand, but we know the Clintons are. You know what I mean? And some people associated with them have loaded up on Algorand, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna make money off of this in the bull cycle at $1 and probably possibly up to $10. I'm pretty sure they didn't get into it to lose money. You know what I mean? But look, I said the same thing about Katy Perry and Theta, and that was a nightmare, right? That was a nightmare, and the reason why is because the music industry is one of the biggest slave plantations of them all. And so Theta, for some reason, the guys at Theta thought that Katy Perry would come in and create NFTs and everything would be fine. And it doesn't work that way. These people are, I keep telling you guys, these people are the biggest, they are puppets, they are slaves, right? And so the Theta team told you that at the Thetathon, right? They said we couldn't do nothing with Katy Perry because everything was illegal. We couldn't do this. We couldn't do that. We couldn't shoot photos. They wouldn't allow us to do nothing with her, right? And so, and so because these people are enslaved, and I keep telling you guys that you guys keep working these Hollywood people, and if they could sit down with you, they will tell you stop. You don't know what we go through, for signing these satanic contracts, right? And so Theta probably didn't, the Theta Death Team thought, okay, Katie's gonna sign with us for NFTs, and Katie couldn't do nothing with them. They couldn't do nothing. No access to the VIPs. Nope, you needed signatures for that. a quick photo with Katie and some message. You gotta have signatures. They have to sign off on that. Everything you want to do with Katie, they have to sign. It was a nightmare, and they'd have learned a big lesson. These people are these people are enslaved, and it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not and it's awful. It's awful. What they do to these people in Hollywood. And they'd have found out the hard way. They'd have found out the hard way. So that Katy Perry thing didn't go as planned because they couldn't do nothing with Katy Perry. She's enslaved, right? And it's a cry out with Britney Spears crying out to the world. I mean, we see it all the time, every decade or every 3 months or every, not 3 months, but every 3 years, somebody's crying out to be free from the enslavement of Hollywood. So you guys have been seeing it your whole entire lives, and yet you still celebrate these people like they're some type of like they're gods and something when they're crying out for help. Can you imagine crying out to help and people are giving you standing ovations and celebrating you? And you're like, no, I need help. And they're just laughing at you and smiling at you. You're great. You're wonderful. And yet inside, they're dying inside. It's awful. That's got to be awful. Has to be awful. Right? So a lot of people want to be set free. We need to be praying for them and not celebrating them like gods and goddesses. And we need to be praying for their release from their satanic contracts and their enslavement. Peace out. God bless. Algorand, I got $1 this year, $10 next year, and may you be set free as well. Bye.